How to connect and work with your spirit guides. What are spirit guides? Well, this is a very loaded question since there is no absolute answer to it. There are many different theories, ranging from the spirits of your ancestors who've stuck around to offer their wisdom to angelic helpers who've been assigned to ensure your well-being. One of the best descriptions for spirit guides that I've come across is that of the divine support system, benevolent, non-corporeal beings who've chosen to help others through times of difficulty so they can evolve into the amazing people they're capable of becoming. Why do I have guides? Quite frankly, we all have guides because we all need guidance. Are you familiar with the quote, "We're not human beings having a spiritual experience, we're spiritual beings having a human experience"? Just like a newborn infant will not thrive without caregivers who can tend to its physical needs, a newborn spiritual being will not thrive without energy beings who will help nurture them and provide guidance as needed. As spiritual beings, we may have lived thousands of lifetimes, but most, if not all, of those memories are wiped clean when we're reborn into a new body. These are beings of light love that are here to help you and offer you support and guidance on your current life journey if you allow them to do so. You're experiencing existence in this body in every scenario you encounter so that you can glean a greater understanding of what it means to be human, to feel love, to have compassion and awareness of all things. There will be times when you're in unfamiliar circumstances or deeply troubled by things, and you may not have other people in your life who understand what you're going through, so they can't offer you their insights. This is where spirit guidance comes in. Since they've seen it all, experienced it all, and are connected to all, they're perfectly equipped to help you through whatever it is you're dealing with. How do I find my guides? Well, they're around you pretty much all the time, so if you want to contact them, just talk to them. And as mentioned, let them know that they have permission to speak to you in turn. If you have trepidations about being contacted by them, it may take a little while for them to make themselves known to you, or it could happen immediately. It might be in a dream at first, or you might hear a soft voice tentatively trying to make contact. Just try to stay open to the experience and not close off immediately because you think that hearing voices is somehow negative. Some people are freaked out by the idea that guides may be around when they're naked in the bath, using the toilet, and so forth. But that kind of squeamishness is very human. They're so beyond that, it doesn't even register with them. Are you appalled or offended when you see a baby being bathed? Same idea. How do I communicate with my guides, and what does communication with them feel like? What should I expect? There are many different ways to communicate with your guides depending on how they appear to you and how you're most comfortable doing so. As mentioned above, sometimes their guidance can come through as intuition or gut instinct, but those aren't the only ways they can communicate with you. Quite often, guides communicate with people through dreams, which we'll touch upon shortly. Other times they'll speak to you directly or show you things in your mind's eye. If you're not familiar with this term, take a moment and visualize a red rose or the face of someone you love. You can see that in your mind instead of with your eyes, right? That's where the images they'll show you can appear. How do I ask my guide for advice? The same way you ask literally anyone else for advice. Just ask. Our guides are always around us, so if you ask aloud, they'll hear you. If you're self-conscious about asking aloud and you have an idea of what your spirit guide looks like, set aside a bit of quiet time to reach out to them. Find a spot where you're unlikely to be interrupted and try to quiet your thoughts. Focus on your guide and envision them as clearly as you possibly can. Once you have a clear image of them in your mind, think about the situation you're in and use your inner voice to ask them for their advice and guidance. Their response may be immediate or it may come a little bit later, but it should come within the space of a day or two at the longest. Are spirit guides even real, or is this just fluffy New Age drivel? Every culture on Earth, every spiritual path talks about spirit guides and intelligent non-corporeal beings. The Vedas, Hindu religious texts that are over 3,000 years old, make mention of spirit guides. They're also mentioned in the Jewish Kabbalah, in Sufism, in Tibetan Buddhism as Yidams, and in countless indigenous cultures worldwide. Basically, most civilizations, aside from small pockets of Western culture, not only recognize the existence of spirit guides, but also have great stories about those who drew upon the guidance these beings have offered. It's only the past century or so, with greater scientific breakthrough, that spirituality has taken a back seat in favor of what consensual Western thought has determined to be real, according to evidence-based scientific testing. Additionally, some religions have put forth the idea that anything outside their specific teachings are somehow evil, malicious, and dangerous. They, along with other schools of thought, would have people believe that any being that contacts them must have nefarious purposes in mind. Ask yourself why you think these ideas have been enforced, and then make up your own mind about what you believe. Ultimately, whether you connect with spirit guides and accept the guidance they have to offer is entirely your choice. If you choose to make contact with them, feel free to share your experiences with us in the comments section below. Blessings to you.